I know that we have had students in at least the first and in the second levels of offense. I'm thinking at the high school, and I know here in this elementary building at least, well, I finished out that school year, we had in-school suspension as a result of repeated bullying and harassment. We have some kids placed outside of the district, just so you know, because part of they have multiple issues, but some of their issues are repeated bullying, harassment, intimidation. And we've had kids through the summer have issues that are now out of our district and are in facilities outside of the district in placement, either by DHS or by parent decision. And some, but not all of their behavior issues are around that bullying, harassment, intimidation. They'll do it to family members or to siblings, to neighbor kids.
That doesn't have to be divulged to the other district, does it? As far as if they're expulsion, they have to, like if somebody would go to a neighboring district because they got expelled here, do we have to divulge that to that school district?
They can ask us.
But we don't nobody automatically says.
No, they'll ask us. If we get a kid that comes to us that's been expelled, we call and ask why. And very often we don't take kids that have been, we've had kids asked to come to the school district who've been expelled, and I can think of one that we've taken. And there's been not another kid in this school district nor in Lake Auburn that we've taken in the last 6 to 8 years that's been expelled from another school. And the students that we took was because they'd been in this district, we knew their circumstances, they were finding some success in this district, and we took that student. But other kids, we don't. We call and ask. Because sometimes there can be a situation where you might take one, like the one I'm telling you about. We took, but generally we just say, no, we're not taking it. That's the seriousness of expulsion, and I'm not sure parents really understand that, nor do kids. So I think it needs to be lots easier to move around. First of all, schools didn't have to notify each other. We were just relying upon the kid or his family to tell you that. If you got far enough away, they might not figure it out until after you were already enrolled.
Question, any thoughts on why 6th grade spikes? From an outside, I would think always the youngest grade in a school might get more harassed than the second to the youngest, as opposed to like high school freshmen. They were the highest. I'm just curious why 6th grade and not 5th grade, or anybody got any thoughts on that?
Chemistry. It's the class, it's the chemistry of the class. And I can honestly say it's not a SAC issue or a WLBA issue, it's a grade level issue.
Of this specific,
Of
very
that
specific,
specific
in our
grade.
specific
And-
middle school.
Correct.
So you're expecting our 7th grade to have the spike next year?
I think those teachers,
Or this year?
I think those teachers, we warned them that the data was going to be this way when it came out. The 6th grade teacher said, trust us, it's frustrating. And I think the 7th and 8th grade teachers that have the 7th grade, I think they're willing to really work hard this year at reducing this. Because they know that there's kids that are hurting on the inside because of this. So it's just the chemistry, Chris. I just say it's the makeup of the class.
So if I get a letter from 7th graders, it's based on the chemistry of this year's 7th graders.
It will be based on the fact that the staff are identifying it and trying to do something about it. Okay.
Let me give you another piece of the data. One of the students, we've already notified the AEA that we want to do a functional behavioral assessment, which means they come in, do some observations. We have teachers give input of what they're seeing. So this week, teachers are already watching this one student because we know from last year and previous years that I've worked with him that he needs more success, he needs strategies, he needs help. So we're already attacking at least one, attacking is kind of a bad word, but we're already looking at one student that we know if we can maybe get him turned around, that the numbers will decrease already. So that's what I mean by the staff, I think, is really willing to work at looking at this issue very seriously.
And part of what we have to do is tap into, Liz talks about, if you look at a grade like that 7th grade, there's a big imbalance of power there. And it's really a quite small number of kids. But there's also a very caring majority of kids who don't bully, but yet don't know what to do when they see bullying, or even they feel empathy for the person being bullied, but they're not sure what to do. So it's us working with the staff and to train the kids, where they're at in that little bullying circle, and then what they can do in those situations, because the teachers aren't always around. It's that caring majority, and a lot of bullying programs that I've worked with talk about that caring majority of kids. But again, they need training. How should they handle that? What do they do when they see it happening? Because that can be a scary thing for kids. So part of our job too is to get that part of the program to help reduce it.
One of the other things we've learned, I think, in OBS training that I hadn't thought about before is that we pay a lot of attention to the bully. And spend a lot of time with that person, and we spend very little time proportionately with the victim. And that we need to reverse that time. That the victims need our time. They need to be able to feel comfort with us, and that we can share our concern with them. We need to support them, we need to check in with them, we need to constantly support those kids and take care of the discipline and not dwell on the bully as much as the victim, because the victims sit and look at that and they see, wow, look who gets all the support, and look who gets all the attention. They may not see that it's negative attention, but I never thought of it in those terms before, and I always spent more time with the bully rather than the victim. And the case is pretty strong for how much difference you can make if you can empower the victim as well.
Good question. I'm sure we'll be back to report how things are going. Thank you.